No, it sounds a little muffled, maybe just a touch, but not bad.
Huh? That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Always. Oh, hey, this is Trekcast, the galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast. It's Dan, Daniel, and Chad. Here we are. Another week, another show, another episode of Lower Decks. We're getting towards the end of it. There's only, 4 more at this point? So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Wow, they go fast.
They do go fast. It's a great show, as always. And on this week's episode of Lower Decks, we got a little bit of a surprise. Did you guys catch it? Did you guys catch the really big surprise? Like, listeners of this show probably picked up on it, but I don't know if anybody outside of listeners of this show probably picked up on it. There was somebody who guest starred, and on their voice, you can hear it. David Ivey was in this week's episode. Listen, I got a clip. This is David Ivey.
What?
Yeah, this is David Ivey. Listen, this is his voice. I heard his voice. This is it. Just listen.
So what has you seeking asylum? Religious persecution? Leading a rebellion? Some sort of sex stuff?
That last part right there.
It does.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
I can hear it. Yeah. That's funny.
I mean, not only does it sound like him, he's talking like him.
Yeah. Who is that? That was Ransom.
That was Ransom,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. David Ivey as Commander Ransom.
That's right. I laughed so hard when I heard that. I'm like, wait, was that? Damn, that sounds like him. That's my clip for the show.
Nice.
You realize he's been lying to us. Every time he says he's going to Mexico,
yeah,
he's recording.
He's recording, yeah.
He's recording for the show. Yeah.
The audio booth is Mexico.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, for tax reasons.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I thought you guys would get a kick. I heard that and I'm like, oh man, that's perfect. That's just perfect. I gotta have that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, when I watch these episodes now, I'm trying to actually watch them right here on my rig. So as I'm going through and listening to it, if I hear something that just catches my attention like that, boom, instant record and pop it into the soundboard and off we go. So I can at least get 1 or 2 clips from every
completely
show.
the opposite of what I do.
You don't watch them in the shuttlecraft?
I watch them while folding laundry, and then
Nice.
sometimes I rewatch them. I know this sounds dangerous. I rewatch them in the car. I'm really just listening to them.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
That's like
and
your
sometimes
long-standing thing,
I fold laundry in the car.
Yes.
Oh, that's
when he has to
efficient.
go to the laundromat.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's it.
No, I was going to say, I mean, that's a long-standing habit of yours that's gone back a decade now,
Yes.
where you
Yeah.
listen to the show on your iPad in the car, even though you're not looking at the screen. You
Yep.
put it in a seat somewhere so you
Yep.
can't see it. You've done that
Yep.
forever.
Yeah, it's like an audiobook.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, when you've seen the shows enough, you don't need to see the show
Yes.
again. You just listen.
Yep.
Which gives you a completely different context. It really does. It
Yep.
makes you pick up on every word, every nuance.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. But at the same time, you don't pick up the visuals. Sure, if I watched it, Lower Decks, I'm only seeing it for the second time,
Mhm.
or hearing it for the second time. If I watched it,
Oh yeah.
I'm sure I would pick up on a lot of those visual Easter eggs,
Yep.
That's
cue
like half the
clues that are
show
there.
too, man.
Yeah.
With that show,
Yeah.
yes. With this one, definitely.
Yeah.
So, yep.
All
I
right.
was going through like the timeline of where we are right now versus where we're going to be in a year from now, and there's really going to be very few weeks.
September.
September.
It'll be September again.
Do you remember
Right.
September?
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, from now until this time next year, there'll be very few weeks in between now and next year where there's not a new episode of Trek. There'll be very few weeks out of that 52
I mean, that's
weeks.
that's been the plan for a while now.
And it looks like without even them saying it, they're going to do it. I mean, really, if you just look at what's coming next and in the order in which it's coming and the time frame in which it's coming, it's every week. Every week.
Well, I do have some updates on Paramount in
all right,
my
so
news.
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go right into the news.
Attention all hands. It's time for Star Trek news.
All right, let's go in the Wayback Machine. A couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, it was yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Well, I have that clip somewhere, but I wasn't ready.
Okay. A couple months ago, we had rumors that one of the Discovery writers was going to work on another Star Trek movie, and that this was just one of several movies that they're working on, right?
Yeah.
And then a couple weeks ago, we had Star Trek Day, and they didn't mention any movies.
No, not even the one that they've announced with a release date.
Right, nothing. They just talked about the shows.
Yep.
So that's fine, whatever. Maybe they're just not ready. Who knows? And then 2 days ago, it was announced that the head of Paramount Pictures, the film studio, is, shall we say, leaving?
Leaving?
And is being, yeah. They're not saying fired, but, you know, they haven't been doing well as a studio, and all of a sudden he's gone.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
make of that what you will. And the new head of Paramount currently runs Nickelodeon. And so this new guy, Brian Robbins, is going to be taking over all of Paramount Studios. And he says that, you know, the plan is to focus on new franchises, like they did with A Quiet Place and Sonic the Hedgehog. They do plan to continue with their Star Trek movies. And we'll see what happens, because it's all brand new. And he just literally got the job 2 days ago.
Huh.
So there's also going to be an emphasis on streaming. Doesn't necessarily mean more Star Trek shows, just their Paramount Plus is going to be their big focus.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. So
I would imagine that means that release date they made public for no apparent reason is not going to happen.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So once again, it's delayed.
Yeah. So
And if they keep changing the top dogs, it'll never
happen. Which, you know, right now I'm fine. I'm fine with the shows. Just make some shows, have something for us to watch every week, every other week, whatever, different series, be creative with it. Hopefully Strange New Worlds is good. In that case, I'm happy. All right. Just keep making good content on that side of it. You don't have to make a movie. You know, let's go back and make a movie once we've gotten, you know, a real good, solid reason to make a movie, instead of just saying, well, we want to make a Star Trek movie. Okay. Throw shit on the wall and see what sticks.
But the thing about that article in the Hollywood Reporter is they are purposely standing back from filmmaking, period. So another Star Trek movie may never happen, period.
Well, unless
that's okay.
Unless it's streaming.
That's okay too.
Yeah.
You know, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Star Trek has always worked better as a TV show than a movie. There's good movies. They've made some good movies.
Every other one.
But it's always much. Yeah, pretty much. But it's always worked much better. It's always worked much better as a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'm like I said, I'm fine. Just making some good shows, make some good content. You don't have to go and make it. Which, I mean, what is a movie nowadays anyway? It's totally flipped on its. Everything is totally flipped on its head from that standpoint. You know, a movie is a 2.5 hour long TV show that you stream. That's it.
Right.
So, and as far as the look and the sound, I mean, say what you want about Discovery, it looks as good as a movie made as a show made for
gorgeous.
a movie.
We've said that from day one.
So I mean, there's really no. And then of course, when it comes to the dollars and the distribution and the yada yada yada, I mean, if Paramount Plus is where they want to go with all of their stuff, then they should be building for streaming and not also trying to make movies and do that, unless it's a big ticket thing, right? So, you know.
I mean, they've got to keep Tom Cruise happy with those Mission Impossibles.
Yeah.
That's about it.
More Top Gun.
And then, or Transformers. That's their other big franchise.
They could leave that alone
for
a while. They could leave that alone for a while. They
well,
really could.
They're not going to. They're not going to.
No, they're not.
Okay. Our next news story comes to us from PCGames.com. And apparently, there's a new Star Trek game that is not a Star Trek game.
It's one of those.
Yeah,
it's called Axanar, the game.
No. It's a game called Sins of the Solar Empire Rebellion.
I know that game.
And apparently there's a new mod out for it called Star Trek Armada 3.
Yep.
And people are saying that this is the best Star Trek game to come out in many years. And it's not a Star Trek game.
So. I would argue the best one to come out in many years, it's not a Star Trek game, is Stellaris. And you put on the Star Trek mod for it. And it is fan-freaking-tastic. Really, really good.
Yeah, so this new mod is out. Looks like the new Voyager's even on there, which is kind of cool. Yeah. And they've said that they put in the Borg Collective,
Hmm.
the Cardassian Union and Dominion Alliance, the Romulan Star Empire is in there, the Klingon Empire, the Federation, of course.
Cool.
So a lot of ships in there. So
No
I'm not
Packlids?
familiar with this game. So
No Packlids?
Gotta have the
No,
Packlids. They're
no.
apparently a huge
We are
major.
strong!
Yeah, that's
they're
right.
too strong for the
strong.
game.
Yeah,
They're
overpowered.
too strong for the game.
Overpowered.
Yeah.
Show me your
can't do that.
shields.
We have mods that make us go. And our last news story comes to us from ScreenRant.com. And it's
They thought she was Janeway the whole time.
I know.
I know. That was great.
Not even the same color. I mean, just to be honest,
Yeah,
brutal
yeah.
about. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that
all,
looks nothing like
all-
her, but that's Janeway.
all humans look alike. You
Yeah.
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have big helmet now.
All right. Let's
All right. Last news story. D&D Celebration features Star Trek Discovery cast and Will Wheaton. So,
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
yes, on the 24th, so in a few days, there's going to be a big Dungeons and Dragons live stream featuring a lot of the cast of Discovery and Will Wheaton, and they're going to be going through one of the new D&D books that apparently is coming out. If you play D&D, that's a big deal apparently. And
So let me get this straight.
yeah,
Dungeons and Dragons
and
Star Trek in
yeah,
the same event.
With Will Wheaton.
indeed.
With Will Wheaton.
I said you ought to be nicer to Will
nerd
Wheaton.
power.
I was looking for it.
The nerd power coming out of that room. Holy cow!
Warning! Nerd alert!
Yeah.
Nerd alert!
Yeah, they're going to
There's
be
a
traveling
standing-
at
There's a standing nerd alert.
they're going to be traveling at Warp Factor Mom's basement. So
The best
Anthony
part-
Rapp's
the-
huh?
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say that the best part is, three guys who have a Star Trek podcast on Sunday mornings are pointing fingers and calling people
Yeah,
nerds.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's the great part. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if we were part of this nerd continuum, what snacks would we have? Because of course we're going to bring snacks.
Oh,
I think you need Funyuns with that group.
yeah.
Yeah, Cheetos,
Cheetos.
and I would keep them in my beard.
As you should.
Nerd sparkle. That's what that is. Nerd glitter. Cheetos in the
Yeah.
beard.
So
man.
Anthony Rapp's going to be part of this. Mary Wiseman, Blue DeBario,
Oh man.
Ian Alexander, and Will Wheaton are all part of it.
You
So
just took the nerd power down a couple of notches.
you know what? This group plays a lot of D&D. Like that's fairly common, especially when the lockdowns were going on. They were playing pretty regularly online. So
Yeah, it's
They're-
funny. I look back at last year and it's like all that time. What did I do with it? I have no idea. I don't know.
right, survived. Yeah, and that's fine. But yeah, so that's all the news stories.
All right, cool. So now we're gonna move back into the feedback. I take it, because that's usually what we
Yeah.
do next, isn't it?
C.
Hailing frequencies. Open.
No emails, no phone calls, no voicemails. I don't even know if there's a coffee account thing. Let me go look it up.
Yeah, there's a few.
Oh, good.
Well, while you're doing that, I will say that a question was brought up in the group, and there was a lot of answers towards
Oh
this.
boy.
And I don't know if Dan saw it, but I would love to get his opinion because he didn't comment on the group.
What
And
was
the
it?
The question was, are the Ghostbusters superheroes?
Absolutely.
Why do you say that? Because
Well-
everybody agrees with you. I'll tell you that.
Well, why aren't they superheroes? And then what would be the argument that they're not superheroes?
Well, they don't have superpowers.
I would say
Okay,
Okay.
Iron Man doesn't have superpowers.
neither does Batman.
Neither does Batman. They both rely on technology.
Yeah. So they're just heroes. They're not superheroes.
But
Ant-Man doesn't have superpowers.
No, Ant-Man's a
He
thief.
relies on
He's a
technology.
thief.
Mhm.
So yes,
But
Ghostbusters
the
are
whole point of
superheroes.
Ghostbusters is that they charge people. They're exterminators. Superheroes don't do that.
Yeah, they're there to make money.
Mm.
Peter Venkman wants his cash.
Right.
Mm.
Call it luck.
When Batman serves
Call
up
it
justice, he
karma.
doesn't give you a bill.
Yeah, and no, he doesn't give you a bill. 'Cause
Mm.
he's rich.
That's my argument.
That's a good point.
It is. It is.
That's a good
And it's
point.
probably the only one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the only
Yeah.
one. After that, then sure, it's
Yeah.
So are they heroes?
they're
just
heroes
not
for hire.
superheroes? Are they heroes but not superheroes?
No, because they're just for
I
hire.
mean,
So is it because they get paid or because they charge for their services? Because those
Think
are two
of it this
different
way.
things.
Yeah, wait a minute.
If you got termites,
Wait a minute. Doesn't
and the guy comes and cleans them out of your house, is he a hero?
yeah, he's a hero to you that day.
So- what's
He's
that?
a hero to you that day.
I missed that.
I said, if
I
you
missed
got
that.
termites and the guy comes and clears them out of your house, is he a hero?
Are they termites that could bite my head off? Are they giant, like salivating termites?
They're
There's
just
a
termites,
difference.
man. You've got a pest control problem, and they come and fix it.
Who you gonna call?
Yeah, but they're super powered paranormal pests.
Yeah.
Say that 3 times fast. Super powered paranormal pests. Yeah. I can't-
Superpower paranormal pet. Yep. No,
my
no.
point is it that they charge or is it that they get paid for their services?
Well, so do the Avengers, right? I mean, we saw that in the Anthony Mackie thing.
So do firemen.
Yeah, and they're still heroes. So
Yeah,
they're still heroes.
but you don't get a direct bill from the firemen.
Yes, you do.
It's called your
Your
taxes.
taxes.
Well, property taxes.
Okay, but it doesn't say this is for like saving your house. It's just your property tax. That's what I'm saying. That direct link changes it a little bit.
Nah. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go back and say
But
they're
if
they're
you
heroes.
have if you have a severe paranormal problem
Mhm.
in your county or in your town and the neighboring town, they could form a special district, okay, and tax you directly for the purposes of providing paranormal extermination and elimination services through tax dollars.
I
So
love we're having an argument about this.
yeah,
That's how a fire district is formed in the state of New York. A series of towns or a county forms a special taxing district. And then once they go through the process to form this district, they can then tax the people who live in that district for the purpose of providing those services. It's the same thing for a library. It's the same thing for a water district. So if there was a problem with paranormal activity,
Mhm.
theoretically, 2 or 3 towns or a single town in New York State could form a special taxing district.
I just
And
don't remember the point in The Exorcist where he goes, "I need an old priest, a new priest, and an invoice." You know?
I think there's a case to be made that a firefighter and a police officer, a soldier, they're all heroes
Right,
when
yeah.
they save someone's life. Before that,
Indeed.
they're just firemen, policemen, and soldiers. And I think it's a point of view, right? There's a distinction there. They're all getting paid. They all get a paycheck. Ghostbusters are getting paid. They get a paycheck, but they're saving people's lives, right? So
But what did Winston say? If there's a steady paycheck,
I'm in.
I'll believe anything.
Yeah,
you say.
exactly. I'll call you anything you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so I mean, what I'm getting at is it's a personal
they
opinion.
got stiffed on that bill, so they
did.
didn't get paid.
Yeah.
They
Oh!
got stiffed on that
They
bill.
did. They did. So no, I think it's
This is going to be a great argument for
Yeah,
everybody.
it'll be an ongoing one too, because it's just a matter of opinion and perspective, and it doesn't really, the definition of it really is malleable and doesn't really matter.
Indeed,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And they're also fictional characters, so it really doesn't matter.
This is true.
But-
This is true.
It's great.
Anybody can be a hero. Remember that movie with Dustin Hoffman called Hero? The guy in the plane? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's the point of Batman, right? Anyone can be Batman.
anyone can be Batman.
He's just a symbol.
How do you word that? Think you walk around in
Uh,
pads makes you hockey pads. Oh, however you said that. Hockey pads enough.
It was something to the effect of, I believe he was sitting in his penthouse as a multi-billionaire and saying, "Hey, Alfred, anyone can be like me." Let's.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I got coffee account pulled up. Here we go.
Go for
We got quite
it.
a few. Okay, so Lumberjack Daryl, Picard Season 2, Possible Battle of Wolf, 359 flashbacks showing that Starfleet wins the engagement with the Borg. That's all they got a hold of. That's how they got what? That's all they got a hold of the Borg Queen, since it is stated that she was there from first contact. Okay, maybe that's how the Borg Queen comes into it. I don't know. I think that's what he's getting at, is how the Borg Queen comes back into it again with him going back in time and being a Terran Empire and all that. So we'll see.
Yeah, I have a question about Borg Queens, actually.
Yeah.
Is there just one, or are there multiple?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
There has to be multiple.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched the one in First Contact get destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly she was back in Voyager.
Yep.
Right.
So
all the way over in the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's more than one. I don't think there's one on every ship.
But maybe for like a region of space or whatever.
But it's still one person.
Mm.
It's still one person.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Being controlled by
so
one
is
person somewhere.
Is she the assistant Borg Queen, or is she the assistant?
She
to
middle
the
management
Borg
Queen?
She's the undersecretary.
She's the assistant to the regional manager.
There you go. Yeah.
Is there a Michael Scott Borg Queen that just can't get it?
Oh yes. How does that quote? It's great. How does that quote go? I would never do anything or say anything to anyone that might in any way say anything that might possibly in any way harm or do or say what they wouldn't want me to say when I said it at any time, ever.
I'm just picturing a middle management Borg Queen who's trying to do a potluck in her cube. All right, who's bringing the salad?
Oh gosh.
So at the end of Voyager,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of Voyager, there was a Borg ship that made it through, right? Didn't they have a Borg sphere on their tail as they came through the conduit?
Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Queen was on that ship, no?
Yeah, because she was chasing that Janeway.
Yeah.
So maybe that's who we're gonna see. That Borg Queen, who the ship was destroyed, but she was floating in space, which they can survive. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
She's floating in space,
So can Pac-Lid.
and Starfleet picks her up and they put her in 25th century Abu Ghraib, and that's where she's been for.
There you go.
For 20 years.
What is it?
They're doing enhanced interrogation on her for the last.
Oh, I'm just
years.
picturing what is that? Weyun Utani, the aliens company picks her up and is like,
oh yeah,
we're gonna make weapons out of her.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I think it is.
Yeah. All right, Daryl.
I think it's that
for
Borg Queen.
Thanks for the donation.
I think we've overthought it to what actually happens.
Yeah, probably way overthought it. It's just there's a Borg Queen and there she is, and
Yep.
Boom. Because the Borg are still a threat. Well, he's going back in time, so it's before all the other shit. That's really all.
Well, remember, Data never had any other daughters, apparently.
Yeah. So. All right, next donation is from Nozzle Feet 3 days ago. Thank you, sir, for that donation.
Thank you.
And then
Thank you.
8 hours ago, Lumberjack Daryl came back with 4 more.
Oh, wow.
So his first one says, I don't know anything about Paddington, but here's the part to the next movie. A sliver of space-time I normally opens up, a tech nanovirus comes through, affecting everyone in Paddington's world, having to travel the multiverse to find a cure to separate Technovirus Part 1.
So Borg Paddington?
Borg Paddington. Then he says, from organic matter, managing to find technology to open a portal, Paddington finds himself in the Delta Quadrant and finds a plant that's able to merge organic matter together and separates tech from organic, but the plant's been eradicated. Part 2. Okay, here comes Part 3.
The Paddington stuff is getting out of control.
It is. It's your fault. I blame you. Here's Part 3. Paddington finds the ship nearby, made contact with the local telepath, and learns their onboard accident involving the plant. Paddington manipulates the telepath into talking to their ship's captain to reverse the accident, separating the two people to get the plant. Oh God, I hear Tuvix coming. The telepath. Here's Part 4. The telepath transports the plant over to Paddington. Paddington heads back to his universe to come up with a cure for the virus, but gets infected with the tech virus, only to be assimilated into Teddy Ruxpin.
God.
Wait,
Paddington
wasn't
and Teddy
Cable
Ruxpin.
in X-Men, like I had a technovirus?
Yeah, that's Cable. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Cable Paddington.
Yeah. So he says screen cuts to black, leaving a cliffhanger. Hope you guys like it. Yep. So it's Cable Paddington with Teddy Ruxpin and Paddington getting merged into two. It's the Tuvix nightmare all over again.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Thanks for all those, Daryl. You too can tell
Patty
a story
Ruxpin?
on the show.
Yeah.
It only
Yeah,
takes
that's true.
4 donations because we make sure that you can only put so many words in each one.
That's funny.
And we got one more from Taryn. There's nothing there. It's just that might be an automatic. I don't know. It says 2 hours.
Yeah, it's
ago,
an
so-
automatic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, Taryn.
Thank
I really
you.
Thank you,
appreciate that.
Taryn. Yeah.
So, as always, to get to that, you can go to the coffee account. It is ko-fi.com/Trekcast. And that'll take you to the page. Make a donation, type in anything you want, and we will read it on the show, even singing. That's been a long time since we've done that, so please don't. But we will do it. So,
we do have one question from Juan.
Juan.
Yes, and it is, in Strange New Worlds, do we think we will see a Spock, Chapel, Uhura love triangle? I mean, I hadn't thought about it until he put it together, and it's...
Sure. I hope they don't. I see a lot of people online in the last 2 weeks talking about how they want the whole fictional, and it is fictional. This is not part of the original series. This is not part of the movies. This isn't part of anything that Gene Roddenberry ever wrote down and made public. But a lot of people wanting the so-called slash fiction between Kirk and Spock to be a thing, or between Spock and some other dude to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there for that. Like, that's just not Spock, okay? I mean, you can think of it any way you want. You can come up with all those fan fiction theories and all that. That's fine. That's fun. That's great. But man, that would be disappointing if they did that to Spock. It really would. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. We kind of already have that with the Doctor and on Discovery.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we have our gay romance, and that's cool.
And it's
So,
done
like, I
well. It's done well.
And it's done.
But
very-
that's a new character.
Correct.
They wrote him
But
that
the
way
dynamic
from the
is really
beginning.
well
And
done.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they did
But
this
I'm
with
saying
Spock,
changing.
they would be changing an entire character, and they'd be doing it for the symbolism only, for no reason whatsoever. To me, if I was gay, that'd piss me off, because you're just doing it for the ratings. You're just doing it to say, oh, he's now gay, and that's it. And there's your token gay guy, and off you go, right? If you're gonna do it with a character that's not already established, and do it with some meaning where it actually has some sort of reason to be, instead of just being the token thing to be your throwaway thing, and treat it as if it's just a token
in the
thing.
new JJ movies, right? They made Sulu gay, and even George Takei came out and said, like, it's not necessary. Like, he appreciates that they're trying to give him some sort of nod, but he was like, that's not the character, and you know.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the way that they did it then was actually okay. It was tasteful. It wasn't anything crazy and overblown. They didn't really change the character itself, so it worked, right?
It was a
fine.
minor thing.
But it was good. So it was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that so much because they didn't make it this big thing. But everybody talking about trying to make Spock have some sort of romantic,
it's
thing.
the internet, man.
It's
People just say stuff.
Come on, man. Just if we're gonna do it right. Otherwise, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Right.
So.
Hey, as long as they're eating Tribble cereal, that's all I care about. Yeah. All right, let's get to the topic.
I'm sure I'm going to get email on that. Please give me email on that. Anyway, it's chatiswrong@gmail.com. All right, we'll get right into the topic.
Talking about Star Trek in this week's topic. Talking about the Star Trek in this week's topic.
All right, of course, we're talking about Lower Decks, episode 6. What was it called? Spy something? I forget now. I was going to write it down, and I didn't.
Oh, I don't even know.
Doesn't matter. It probably doesn't matter. All right. Anyway, another great episode. Hysterical all the way through. So many different little things. Yeah, the spy among us. Among us. Because so I guarantee you this started in the writer's room as someone saying, hey, you know, we've been watching all these old shows, and every time the away team goes on some sort of away mission, you know, the first officer's going away, they always bring back, they always have something. Like, what happens to all that stuff? Oh, there's a show. Boom. And there's the whole episode. Yep. So, pretty good, though. I mean, it's pretty good. It's funny as all crap. So, and, of course, everybody referring to it as Trash Day.
Yeah.
It's just Trash Day.
Well, we should be clear. They're going around picking up all the old relics from past adventures, and each one is more dangerous than the next and creates issues, but it's such a, you know, typical thing on that ship that it's just Trash Day.
Right.
Yeah.
I do like what they did with Boimler, though, and the whole captains with the red shirts. He's like, you're calling yourselves red shirts? What?
Yeah.
And they don't get the reference at all. He does, but do you think they're going to change up his style as at all to look more like what they did with him in this episode? Because he looked his hairstyle was cool. He looked kind of buff. It was good.
No, and that's why they won't do it, because it looked cool. Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Somewhere down the road, like if they make a live action Boimler, they'll put pads in his shoulders because he was wearing shoulder pads.
Yeah.
That was funny though. And of course, that's
shoulder pads.
It was a
he
fun
had
episode.
abs.
Yeah. And that was Jennifer, the Orion. Did you pick up on that in that little group? That was her. That was Jennifer, or not the Orion, the Andorian. The one that
right.
Mariner hates. Get out of my way, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're not supposed to talk like this, but God, I hate that lady.
It was pretty good.
Awesome.
It was awesome the whole time. The Packlet just keep referring to Freeman as Janeway. I mean, Jesus. It's so stupid. It's great. It's amazing how they've managed to turn that little known kind of one episode throwaway kind of group and make them be kind of a major thorn in the side of the Federation. Like there's just something there. They're always screwing with them.
God, I am waiting for them to bring up Tuvix, because you know
they want to.
Yeah.
You know they want to. And we got our security guy back again for some reason. We got Shax and Temba, whatever his name is. Back and forth between the two of them, which I think is great. It works. It's fine. It's great. That guy's hysterical. When he starts getting angry, he flusters his words and starts speaking in metaphors again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome to throw those in.
He gets startled. He's like, Temba.
Yeah.
That's like my dad. When he gets mad, he starts going in Spanish. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only natural, right?
Indeed. That's how you can judge how angry my dad is. If he starts going into Spanish, he's mad.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at the end, they've got one relic left, and what do? They call the planet where the slime dude's on that ate Tasha Yar, and they start punking him. I was like, what? Who are they talking about? Who is this? What? It took me a second to realize what they were talking about. Then, of course, you see him like, oh, dude, yes, that's awesome.
They totally went jerky boys on him.
Yes, it's so good. It's so good. Hey, this is Sal Rosenberg.
Hi. Hello. Thank you. Oh, my.
So we got 4 left, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. 4. Sounds about right.
I mean...
Sometimes when we review this show, it's like the storyline is so ridiculous that I kind of feel like we run out of stuff to say about the show, because we're not analyzing the storyline the same way we would a serious episode of Star Trek. And so, we do our news, we do our feedback, and then we talked for a few minutes about which jokes were the funniest in this episode.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like it's more difficult to review these episodes sometimes because of that. It
kind of is.
It's strange.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like it's funnier when we talk about it than actually watching it.
Yeah, I agree. Because I only laughed out loud during watching one, and that was this part here where I couldn't help it.
So what has you seeking asylum? Religious persecution? Leading a rebellion? Some sort of sex stuff?
I mean, that was just hysterical. I mean,
right.
Well, I mean, when you watch it, you're watching it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you tend to laugh less when you're alone. If it's really funny, you'll laugh.
Unless you're a
alone.
psychopath.
And then you, but even then, you laugh, and then you kind of feel silly a little bit because you're laughing alone with
Right.
no one else around you. And I think that's probably why some sitcoms have laugh tracks.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I think it comforts you into,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
letting yourself laugh.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing with the movie. You watch a comedy film, and you may not laugh out loud, but if you watch that same movie in a movie theater, and the whole audience is laughing, you laugh along with them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So I just looked at the.
So we got to do
timeline.
live shows then. That's what we have to do. Do live shows.
So I
Okay.
just looked at the timeline, and it looks like we've got about 4 more episodes left to Lower Decks.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have looks like a 1-week break, and then starting October 28th is gonna be Prodigy. So.
Yep.
Yeah. There
We should
you
take
go.
a break on that 1-week break and just not do a show
Yeah.
for that 1 week.
Timba, his week off.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll do that.
But yeah, I mean, we do need to do a live show. We've talked about this a lot. We were actually going to surprise and just test this out and do a live show today, and I didn't get my shit together in time, so we're not ready.
Yeah.
But we do need to do that, and I think it'd be fun to do a watch along of one of these episodes. Lower Decks itself would probably be one of the better ones to do a watch along with.
Well, that's what I was saying. Let's do
Yeah.
the final episode of this season. Like that's a good one
Okay.
to
watch along.
watch along. Yeah.
So there's a new cartoon that came out Thursday.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. It's called HeMan and the Masters of the Universe.
Oh yes.
It's completely separate from anything that's ever come before.
It's the
It's
new
computer. Yep, it's computer animated.
Didn't
it looks
they
like a
just make one?
Pixar.
Yeah,
but that
this
was
is for
supposed to be a
kids.
sequel. That was supposed to be a sequel to the old show from the 80s. This is a completely different timeline, completely different show, unconnected to anything else. Pretty much just inspired by the old thing. So it looks nothing like the original. They take an incredible amount of creative license.
Mhm.
I showed the preview to my son,
Yeah.
and then just asked him his opinion. And he said, "Daddy, that looks awesome. Can we watch it?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Yeah, it comes out tomorrow."
Mhm.
So we have watched about 5 episodes of it. Like I said, it's completely different. He doesn't look anything like what he looked like in the old show. He goes from being a skinny kid to a gigantic muscle bound, totally.
It's like Shazam.
Yeah, but it's like cartoon muscles. There's no way in actual.
Right.
He goes from like Boimler to Gaston from, and he could use the sword to transform his friends. They get powers too. And
so
so
it
we're
really is
5
Shazam.
episodes in.
Yeah.
Yep. My son is loving it. I'm enjoying watching it with him.
Right, because he likes.
Because I've just decided, this is completely different from what I know. It's just different. Just enjoy it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if there will be the same effect with Prodigy. That was my long roundabout way of saying, I've had my doubts about Prodigy ever since they announced this, but I also had my doubts about this He-Man show since they announced this.
Mm-hmm.
And my son loves it. Some of the groups I'm in on Facebook, where we've been talking about it, and you have all of these 45-year-old men who hate everything that's not like the original.
Mm-hmm.
And the vast, vast, vast majority of them are saying, my son loves this, my daughter loves this, my nephew loves this, my niece loves this. This is really great. I enjoy it for what it is. So I'm cautiously optimistic that perhaps there will be the same type of thing with Prodigy. That
I mean, that's the
know,
goal, right? That was the stated goal from the beginning.
Yep.
Well, an article that I read yesterday kind of portends to that from the standpoint of it is going to be in the Prime Universe, so they've established that. The ship that they find is in the Delta Quadrant. The mysterious area of space is what they call it. And that the show will take place across all times, all eras, and all timelines of Star Trek. And it's going to be almost like it's a learning about Trek as part of the show.
Okay.
It does.
That makes sense.
And it actually, if you're gonna make a show for kids that you want them to enjoy and have a good time with, but also try to get them interested in other things Trek, that's not a bad idea, right? As long as it's entertaining to them,
right?
And they don't realize they're being taught to.
Right.
Well, it makes sense if you look at Batman or Spider-Man. I mean, there are different versions of the same character.
Yeah.
Different cartoons for the same character running concurrently. You have the preschool age, Batman. You have and then you have a regular cartoon. They're also putting out PG-13 animated films for teenagers. So the same thing with Spider-Man. So I mean, the plan works. It works for these people over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So perhaps they can replicate that over here.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I mean,
they have 55 years of stuff to try and get new people hooked on as they continue to put out more content.
Right.
I think if it does what the HeMan thing is doing, where like the younger generation likes it, I think a lot of the olders will just be like, fine, whatever, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. It's kind of like I kind of treat it the same way as we're treating Lower Decks, where it's canon in but not canon out kind of thing. Right. And I think Prodigy will be the same way, and hopefully a younger crowd will stick to it. So far so
hopefully.
Good. So far so good.
Yeah.
So question about that. Talking about, revising older content or reviewing older did you guys happen to see the Matrix 4 trailer that dropped here in the last week or two?
Oh, so I've heard some theories about this, and I would love to talk about them.
Have both of you watched the original 3?
Yeah.
I think I saw the first 2 like 20-something years ago.
I've rewatched that trilogy, I don't know, maybe every 3 or 4 years. I mean, I've seen it multiple times.
Okay.
I loved that movie. I love those movies when they came out. I was very much into Daft Punk and Chemical Brothers and that music at that time. And that show just really spoke to me.
So do you want me to drop my theory that's going to change that trailer for you?
Oh, God, please don't. But go ahead. I thought the trailer was amazing, by the way. I really did. I loved every second of it. It got me hooked. I want to see that. I don't want to see anything more about it. As far as the trailers go, I don't want to watch another trailer. I just want to go see the movie in December. But you can go ahead and throw the theories on me. That's fine.
Okay. So this is just a theory. It's not been confirmed anywhere, but I have seen this theory a lot online. And the theory is that when like the guy says it's time to go back to the Matrix and all that, what he's talking about is the movie. In that in this new Matrix movie, the Matrix is a blockbuster franchise, and Keanu Reeves' character was the actor who was in The Matrix, the movie.
Nah.
So it's a Matrix within a Matrix within a Matrix. It's very meta.
No, I don't think it'll be like that. That'd be making a joke out of the whole thing.
I don't know, man. Like,
I think more of what's...
if you're gonna remake those movies, and if you just basically Force Awakens it, people are gonna be pissed. But if you go this route, where it's super meta, I could totally see them buying into that and going.
I think more of what's going on is they're actually in the Matrix, or they're actually in a version of the Matrix, because at the end of the last movie, they both basically die. But they're also both basically put back into the Matrix. So they're in there, but they're in there without knowing who they were. This is my first theory. They're in there without knowing who they were, and it's been a long time. And so now they're...
It's been
it's been a long time between then and now, and so there's weird problems or whatever with him
getting from here to there.
Yeah, there's weird problems with him being in there. So that's my first theory. And how they go from there, I don't know. My second theory is Morpheus talked a lot about how it's happened before, it's happening again. This has just been over and over
Yeah.
and over again. We have no idea how far back this goes, but it's been happening for forever, thousands of years, right?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is just another one of those iterations, and every time it comes around, it's the same people without them realizing it's the same people, right? Getting regurgitated in a machine, if you will. So that's my second theory.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Could
It
be.
could be. It either way, it looks fantastic. Sounds great. I want to see it. So
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
Next movie I'm going to go see in the theater is going to be, probably Dune. Probably Dune.
Oh,
Isn't Dune next month? Is it
so.
Dune, then Ghostbusters, and then we're into December?
I thought Ghostbusters got moved back again, like completely.
Not from November?
I thought so. I know Jackass is gone because I'm very sad.
Say it isn't so. Now I'm gonna look it up. What is it? Afterlife?
Yeah.
It's called, right?
Yeah. I thought. Hopefully I'm
hope
wrong.
you're
But
wrong.
that's what I thought.
I was really looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, I hope I'm
movies
wrong
in the
too.
theater
But I
this
thought
year.
that's
Dune, Afterlife, and Matrix.
Still says November 11th, 2021.
Yeah, that's a weird date.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm excited for Venom.
I haven't seen any of those movies. I haven't seen Venom at all.
Oh, I like them. Oh, I love superhero crap.
Yeah, I do too. But I don't know. There's only so much time, right? And so, what are you going to watch? So, unfortunately, I'm stuck because I'm almost finished with Babylon 5 rewatch. So I just have to finish it just so I can actually fucking finish it. So.
November 19th. It did get pushed back, but just November 19th.
I was going to say the 11th is weird.
So
the week before Thanksgiving, that makes sense. But the 11th is like, what is that?
Oh.
Should
have
come
been
out
over the
before
summer.
Halloween.
Yeah, I've been saying that, but
yeah. Well, yeah, it should be coming out like the first or second week of October, really.
Yeah.
Just let it take the whole damn month and halfway through November until the Thanksgiving movies come out.
I mean, if No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home comes out in time, I'll be stoked for that.
When does that supposed to come out?
Like right around Christmas.
This year?
Yeah.
I guess that's another one I have to go see in the theater.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time. I can't remember the last time I was in a movie theater.
No.
I do remember. It was Sonic the Hedgehog.
There you go.
That's what it was. It was February. Yeah, it was February 2020. Because my son said, "Daddy, for your birthday, we should go see Sonic the Hedgehog." Oh, okay. Yeah. For my birthday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for yours.
Right.
Yeah. You're such a Sonic lover.
Yep.
I went into the movies last night.
Oh yeah, what did you see last night?
I went and saw a horror film, Malignant. It's really bad.
It's not a tumor.
Yeah.
You say that, and the whole premise is that there is a living tumor on the lady's, like the back of her head, and the living tumor is killing people. So
great.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the movie Anne Hathaway was in. I never have seen it, but I keep wanting to see it. Every time she gets drunk and passes out, which she does every night because she's a lush and she lives in London or something, an evil monster on the other side of the world awakens and kills everybody, but it's actually her.
Colossus. Yeah.
Colossus. Yeah, I want to
Colossus,
see that still.
Yeah.
It is supposed to actually be pretty good. So.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, I guess we're done talking about Lower Decks because,
we're done.
It's a funny-ass show. Go watch. If you haven't seen this week's episode, go watch it. It's great. The Packlids are hysterical. They're stupid. Yeah. Ransom is an idiot, as always. Loses the poor guy. They can't figure out where he is. The computer says he's not on the ship. Why is he not on the ship? It's because he thought the airlock was a restroom and he's ejected out in space. So there you go. It's just so stupid. It's great. So,
right.
And then, of course... that dick in the red shirts that wants to be acting captain, he gets it for all of 2 seconds. Then Ransom comes in and tells him to go clean the Packlids mess. I love it.
Yeah, Packlid did something unspeakable in the airlock.
That's great. That's great.
Oh my god.
My favorite was when Janeway went and said, you're such a master spy. Like, you didn't even tell us your big plan. And then he just, I know. I didn't tell you that. It just unveils the plan.
Of course, right? Of course.
Yeah.
That's funny. Your video,
All right.
Dan, just wants to get like small, big, small, big, small, big, and I have to keep resizing it. It's irritating. I don't know what it's nothing. Nothing you're doing. I don't know why. It's like every once in a while Skype gets dumb.
Here, there you go.
It'll probably change again.
Are you doing that? Is that better?
That's got to be one of your settings, Chad.
It's on
I don't
my
know what
end,
it
I
is,
know.
but
Yeah. Now you're a little tiny circle. Daniel's full screen and
As
you're a
it
little
should be.
circle and
As it should.
yes. We're gonna change the name. It's gonna be the Daniel Show
I should
with special guests Chad.
I
and
should
Dan.
just put 3 dots with our initials on it or something over on the left-hand side of this when we're recording, and then just put up the images of what we're talking about. No, I should just do something like that. That sounds like too much work.
someday
it
we'll
sounds
get
like a lot of
fancy.
work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. All right.
All right, great show, guys. As
I think
always,
we're good.
hey, call
Yeah.
in, leave us a voicemail, 816-287-0448. That'll just go straight to voicemail. Leave it. We'll play it right here on the show. Make sure to subscribe over on YouTube. The YouTube channel is a thing, if you didn't know that. And then, of course, go over to the coffee account like we talked about before, and visit us on Facebook at Trekcast. Visit us on Instagram at TrekcastTNG. And, of course, we've got the Discord, which there's links to that all over. If it's on Twitter, it's wherever. Find it if you can. Maybe I'll post it again on Twitter again, because I think those invites only last like 7 days and then go dead. So maybe I'll post it on Twitter again.
The march to 5,000 on Instagram
Oh, man,
is
it's
on
amazing.
its way.
You do such good work over there. So
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
So. Yeah, it's fun.
Yep.
It's fun. And then we started a new meme
Yes,
series.
that's right.
You might be a Klingon if. Has no resemblance to any other comedy.
Totally
At all.
original. Totally original.
Totally original.
It is good stuff, though. It is good stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll be back next week with another episode, review of Lower Decks and whatever else news or Paramount or some Viacom, CBS, whatever shit they decide to throw on the wall to see what sticks. We'll be here to talk about it.
I'm
right.
sure there'll
I'm
be more
sure,
next
as
week.
always. All right, guys. Thanks.
right.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, another episode in the can. Check us out at Trekcast.com. Also, if you would, please subscribe to us via iTunes. Leave those reviews, subscribe to us, we'll get some numbers, get up the list, get more listeners, do more shows, have more fun. But for now, we're all done. So live long and prosper, and we'll see you next week.